Hi, guys. Welcome to another conversation session. My name is Victoria. I hope everybody's well and good. And I guess I'm okay by the grace of God. So, today I'm discussing shoot your shots. I'm sure this is a phrase or a sentence that you have heard many, many times. It's been used as a hashtag. It's been used in so many different scenarios. Shoot your shots, shoot your shots. Now, I am specifically going to talk about this idea of shooting your shots in meeting people, getting to know people, getting into a relationship, and then moving from a couple in a relationship to marriage. Okay. Now, my understanding of shooting your shot is being able to either position yourself in a way that you are noticed and seen, or approaching a person. Now, first of all, I'm all up for shooting your shots. We are in an age and time where things are changing very quickly. There's a lot happening. And so it's very easy for people to be distracted. And even in the world of social media, right? Even if you don't go out there. Let me even bring this in. I was talking to one of my friends. Shout out to you, Nicole. The other time, I saw something somebody posted on Instagram and I screenshot it and I shared it with her and I was like, sorry, help me. What is this lady trying to say? And I think the post was something in the lines of, my ladies, you need to take a break from work, calm down, go on dates, enjoy yourself, meet guys, speak to people. She was given all this great advice. But then my question is, where do people meet men these days? Like, seriously, it's an actual question. Where do people meet guys these days? And for guys, where do guys meet girls these days? Because I'm not the kind of person who's always at home, right? I use the local transport, the buses, the trains. I go shopping. I do my best to go to events. I go to church. But it's like everybody's just shut out. Everybody is just busy. You sit next to somebody on the bus or on the train and they're either on their phone or, they've got earplugs in. Everybody's just like in their own little world. Everybody has sort of managed to just curve a niche and they just live in it. So how do we break out of that cycle to actually start speaking to people, to actually start having conversations with people? So I was saying that I've gotten to the point where I used to be one who was like, oh, I could never like join a dating app. Like I could never meet somebody online. But you know what? At this point, I'm like, listen, however means that God wants to use to link me to that Mr. Right, please, I'm all up for it. So yes, shoot your shot. You could be in a place, you see somebody, you think you like the person. Okay, you're like, oh, okay, I'd like to get to know this person. As a lady, is it okay to shoot your shot? My answer is yes. I'm all up for shooting your shots. Whether it is that you want to position yourself in a particular space or place. Say that you saw a guy at an occasion and he was having a discussion with groups of people and you wanted to get his attention. Maybe shooting your shot will be to somehow get involved in that conversation, so he can be seen. For some people, you probably would have to physically walk to them, just walk up to them and be, oh, hello, I like your smile, or oh, I like your perfume. Just make a conversation, and then you never know where that could lead. Now, shooting your shot it doesn't always mean that it has to end in relationships. Okay, we also need to get to the point where we need to understand that building friendship and networking is very crucial and very important. You never know where you would need somebody's help or somebody's favor or support. So it's very, very important. So in whatever circumstance, I'm all up for shooting your shots. I don't want to dive so much into that, right? Where I have a problem actually is, I don't know if this counts as shooting your shot, but when you have people in relationships where you get into the point where you guys have been dating, everything is fine and good, but the guy doesn't seem to be popping the question. He's not saying anything about marriage. And you just feel like, look, we've been doing this for however many months or however many years. And when is he going to make this official? At least it starts from, we've never even had this conversation. I don't know what his plans are for me. He tells me he loves me. He tells me that he sees me as part of his future. But he's not really giving me anything tangible. Is it okay if I shoot my shots? If I propose to him? If I, go to him and say, marry me, or I want to marry you? This is the conversation that I want us to have today. Is it ever okay in this age and time for a woman to propose marriage to a man, to ask a man to marry her, or to demand for a man to marry her? So I don't know what you think. Again, please, people, this is my personal opinion, my personal thoughts. I'm just sharing it with you. I am happy for you to share yours with me. At the end of the day, this is the reason why it's a conversation. So please, let's get talking. Okay, now being a young lady, like I said, there have been many times that I have shot my shots. I have shoot my shots, if I'm saying it right, okay? And I've ended up with great friends. I have made good networks, and I have ended up having very valuable people in my corner. But you see, when it comes to proposing to a guy, personally, I feel like it's a no-no. I would not advise any lady to do it. I will not do it myself. And I'll explain why. Now, my understanding of the institution of marriage, holy matrimony, is that marriage is such a serious thing. It's very huge, okay? It's very sensitive, and it involves your whole life. There is a starting point for marriage, but unfortunately, there's no ending point for marriage. And because of that, I believe that no human being should be cajoled or pressured into getting into marriage. It should come willingly and freely. You can support somebody on that journey, but you see, that decision to say, I want to be married and I want to get married, should be everybody's personal choice and decision. Now, as a Christian young lady and, Christian young girl, I understand the severity of marriage. In marriage, the man who then becomes the husband has his role and responsibilities. The woman who also then becomes a wife also has the roles and responsibility. And I think personally that the responsibility and the burden on the man who is becoming the husband is huge. He's supposed to be the leader of the home. He is going to be a father when God is blessed, when you get married and God bless you with children. He's supposed to be a provider to a very large extent. There is a lot that this man has to embody. So all of these things, if how do I put this? If all of these things, a man does not sit down and really deeply and truly think about these things and feel ready in themselves to be willing and committed to do these things for a woman, and this man is cajoled, pressured, or forced into marriage, it will be very difficult for such a man to be able to maintain and sustain that marriage. For that reason, I do not think that it is wise for a lady to shoot your shot in that situation, to propose marriage to a man. I have said this several times and I'll repeat myself again. I have come to realize that the fact that a man doesn't want to marry you does not mean that he does not love you. In fact, marriage is not the proof or evidence of love. Calm down, take it in, and try and understand. Marriage, getting married, when you see people getting married, that is not to prove that, oh yes, the love they profess is true. And when you see a couple who choose not to get married, that also doesn't mean that they don't love each other enough. My best friend normally disagrees with me on this, but I've come to realize that it's the truth. Because if marriage was proof of love, we will not see marriages fail. So it's not as if when you get married, then you have proven that you love each other that much. No. So because of that, if you're a lady and you're in a relationship with someone, a guy, you love him to bits, he loves you to bits, but he is not really talking to you about marriage. He's not making anything official, and he's just there and he's just happy for you to be there. If you ask me, I've said this before, and I think in one of my videos I titled, I want to be married, he doesn't, what do I do? It's either you're willing to wait until he is ready by himself, or you end that relationship, sister, carry your heart from that young man's hand and keep moving. And the Lord will provide he who by himself will choose you and want to go on the journey of marriage with you. Somebody may say, but Victoria, if I do that, I may lose out, or I may have lost a great man or a great husband because you agree that the guy you're dating is good. I hear you, sister, but the truth is you cannot lose what you never had. That you've dated somebody 5 years does not mean the person owes you marriage. This is another thing. Look, these are certain hard truths that we as ladies need to begin to understand and accept. I am speaking from experience. I had to learn the hard way, and that's why I'm just sharing this. Okay? No matter how long you've dated a guy, no matter what you have given him, what you have sacrificed for him, the truth is, it does not mean he owes you marriage. And number two, you have to learn that, oh, I've met all his family members. I've spoken to all his friends. He's met all my family members. We've gone on holiday together. All these amazing, great things, huge things, does not mean you are married. Until you're actually married, you are not yet married. And when you are married, you are married. So, shoot your shot. But personally, I would advise you never propose. I know people say we are in the modern times. What a man can do, a woman can do, and all of that great stuff. It's beautiful and it's true. But I'm up for you having a conversation with a guy. Listen, we've been dating for this number of years. Everything is great. What's your plan? What's happening? What are we doing? Because what I also don't agree on is for a young man to think that because you're in a relationship with him, he's going to dictate the timeline of your life by his own timeline. Like I spoke in my last video about carry me along. You're dating a guy and he's not really telling you anything, and he keeps telling you, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm a human being. I also have a life. I also have plans. So can you tell me what your plan is and where I fit in so that, we can know what we are doing. So don't just stay in a relationship and be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to begin conversations about things that concern you and things that you want to know. But what I'm saying is never get to the stage where you propose to a man. The worst one I saw is a girl actually went to buy a ring to propose to a man. I was like, wow, no. Personally, Victoria, I won't do it. I won't advise anybody to do it. But yeah, I want to know what you think. Shoot your shot. Have you ever shoot your shot? Are you thinking to shoot your shots? What do you think? Or am I speaking nonsense? Let me know. Anyway, until that, stay awesome.